right, I hope you're ready for the nursery rhyme project. This is a review of both civil and criminal law, so you've got to demonstrate that you understand both. This is going to be a 4-slide presentation, except you won't present it. So you're going to go into Google Slides and you're going to create a nursery rhyme project, and you're going to have 4 slides. Slide 1 needs to be pretty like this first slide. It needs to have the project name, Nursery Rhymes Turned Law, and then your name needs to be on there somewhere. Okay, the second slide is going to be the first nursery rhyme. You're going to paste in the nursery rhyme, identify either the tort or the crime. You have to find a tort or a crime in a nursery rhyme. Address your 4 elements. You have to break it down. Each element must be addressed, or in crime, it's 3 elements. Okay, and then how do you feel it would be interpreted? And you have to have a picture that goes with the story. Okay. Then your third slide is another one of those. So if you did a civil one for the first one, now you need to find another one, and it needs to be a criminal one. So one of each. And then your fourth slide needs to be basically a comic strip or a cartoon that illustrates a tort or a crime from a nursery rhyme. So you can take one of the 2 that you already did. You can draw it on a piece of paper and take a picture and put it on the slide if you want to, or you can do it just in Google Slide using shapes and all of that stuff to create it. Okay, so you have to be a little bit creative on this. So if you open up the slideshow, it's going to look something like this. And you're going to see that I have the task, choose 2 nursery rhymes, find a way to tie the nursery rhyme to a specific tort or crime, and address the elements. You can exaggerate the story. You can kind of add more details. We could pretend like something else happened. Over here again, it walks through what has to be on each slide. Okay, so that's that. And then I remind you the elements of a crime, duty, violation of the duty, and criminal intent, and the elements of a tort. And then I also give you some examples of crimes and some examples of torts. So if you can't remember, there's a list there. And of course, you have it in your notes too. Okay. Now, these next 2 slides are my examples of how to do some of this. So let's say my first one is the tort of negligence. So you're going to put your nursery rhyme on here. Now, Humpty Dumpty is a super short one, and you're not allowed to use Humpty Dumpty because I'm using Humpty Dumpty, so you don't get to use that one, okay? So you're going to paste your nursery rhyme over here on this side of your slide, and you're going to include a picture. And your picture could be anywhere, but mine's over here, okay? And it just has to be a picture. Put the thing, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, had a great fall, king's horses, king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So I'm going to make an assumption. So I'm going to write my story here. We all know Humpty likes to sit on walls. So did the king, who refused to make the walls in his kingdom safe. Humpty sat on a wall, minding his own business, when it crumbled, causing him to fall and break his shell in a way that could never be fully repaired. So Humpty sues the king for negligence because the king had crappy walls. Okay? So then I'm going to break down the 4 elements of a tort. So first you got to give me a story based on this nursery rhyme. And again, you could stretch a little like I did. Then you have to tell me what you're suing for if it's a tort. And then if it's a crime, they called the cops because of this crime or whatever. Okay, the 4 elements of a tort. So the king has a duty not to injure others. So the first thing is the duty. And his duty in this case is not to injure the people in his kingdom. Second, breaching of the duty. So the king potentially breached the duty by having unsafe walls where people or eggs sat. The third thing is damage. You have to have damage. So Humpty suffered physical damage as a result of the fall. He hurt himself. And then fourth has to be the proximate cause. The king's lack of attention to the walls might be the proximate cause of Humpty's injuries. Okay? And then you have to kind of tell what do you think would happen. So I put here, the final element might be the one that causes this to not be the king's fault. They might think that Humpty was careless or knew the wall was unsafe and decided to climb it anyway. And then, of course, is the king responsible? The jury would have to decide that. So you have to kind of give me an overview of the 4 parts. You've got to tell me the story. You've got to tell me the specific tort or crime. And then how do you think this would play out? Are these 4 things strong? So yours doesn't have to be strong. As you go through the 4 things, you might say, well, all these things happened and it was the cause, but there was no physical damage. So he probably wouldn't end up being responsible, right? Okay. Then you'll do this again for a crime. Okay. Then your final slide is a cartoon, and it can be one of those, or it could be a different one. So you're going to personify your story into a cartoon. I used Canva. Canva is free, and you can, it's got like a bunch of clip art and stuff built in, so you could try to use it. Now, granted, it's probably not going to have like characters like these guys. But you could also just do it on a slide. You wouldn't have to use Canva. Like, you could just do it on a slide. Just draw you boxes using your tools up here, and put them in the boxes. So 3 boxes is plenty. You can do more than that, but 3 is all you have to do. Okay? So here's negligence on a wall. I love walls. I need to go climb another one tomorrow. My kingdom is the best kingdom ever. My walls are strong. Help, why would my king have bad walls? Haha, what a great cartoon. So anyway, you're just making a cartoon. All right, can't do Humpty Dumpty. All right, and then here are some famous nursery rhymes. So if you don't really want to take a lot of effort to have to go look up nursery rhymes, here are a few, and you can copy and paste them. I have Hey Diddle Diddle, the Cat and the Fiddle. So we got that. Ba Ba Black Sheep. Jack and Jill. This Old Man. Little Miss Muffet. London Bridge is Falling Down. 3 Blind Mice. 5 Little Monkeys. I mean, that just sounds like trouble, right? 5 little monkeys jumping on a bed. Georgie Porgy. So you've got all these that might be easy to come up with some examples for. Or I give you this link here to nursery rhymes, and you can come out here and search the nursery rhymes yourself. But guys, don't spend forever trying to find a nursery rhyme, okay? So anyway, you can click on these. I tried to pick the ones that I thought you would have heard of, like Ding Dong Little Bell. I don't even know. But you can click on some of these, and then, you know, here we go. Oh, let's not choose that one. Anyways, but yeah, so you've got all these different ones. 5 Little Ducks. This one's kind of long. But anyway, so find a nursery rhyme, tie it to, and you can, like I said, be creative, tie it to a tort and tie it to a crime. Okay? And then create that cartoon that goes along with it. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you need some help when you're creating your graphics and stuff, there is a cool website called remove.bg. Remove.bg. And if you find a picture and it's got like a white background on it and you don't like that, you can upload an image in here, or you can like paste the URL of an image. So like, say I'm doing a frog. I'm like looking for a picture of a frog, and I go to Google Images and I find a frog, but it's like not on a, you know, white background. It's got that going on. So you can open, right click it and go to Open Image in New Tab. And then when it opens in the new tab, you're going to copy and paste the link at the top from the new tab where it's by itself into here. And you just paste that link. And then you hit OK. And then there it does. Look at that. It pretty much removed the background. Crazy. Anyway, and then you can download it, and you actually have one that doesn't have a background on it. So anyway, remove.bg is the website for that. So if you do need to remove backgrounds, you can do that on there. But I'm not like super worried about all of that. I want to see that you can really demonstrate to me that you can apply the elements of a crime, you can apply the elements of a tort, and you can apply them creatively. And again, it might be that not all 4 elements are there. You know, like maybe these 3 things happened, but they weren't the proximate cause of the damage because somebody else in the story was, or something like that. So you can be creative about it, but you have to explain it. Okay? So do your best on these. Knock it out of the park.